Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about the fifth unit, that is storage management from operating system, and specifically we will be talking about the first come first serve and shortest seek time first algorithms in this unit. PPT credit goes to Silver Shaz and its team, the authors Galvin and Government. The mass storage system we will be talking, and the contents of this lecture are overview of mass storage structure, disk scheduling. Now these are the objectives of this lecture: to describe the physical structure of secondary storage device and to discuss its effects on the use of the devices, to explain the performance characteristics of mass storage devices, to evaluate disk scheduling algorithms. Now, as we know, the magnetic disk provide bulk of secondary storage. It is a secondary storage device attached to the computer system. This disk drive rotates at 60 to 250 times per second. Now there are some terminologies need to be understood. That is, the first one is transfer rate. It is the rate at which data flows between drive and computer. Next is positioning time. Random access, it is also known as random access time or seek time. It is the time to move disk arm to desired cylinder and time to desired sector to rotate under the disk head. It is also known as rotational latency. Another terminology is head crash. Head crash results from disk head making contact with the disk surface. Now this is the typical structure of the hard disk or any secondary storage device. Now if you observe here, the track shown here, then sector is also shown here. This is this particular sector. Then this is the platter shown here. This is the platter. Now there are many platters. This one is platter, this is, and this one is also platter. So hard disk is made up of multiple platters together, and there is a spindle, you can observe here, this one, which allows this platter to rotate, and the direction of rotation is this one. These platters are rotating in this direction, and if you observe, this is the arm assembly. This arm assembly is moving this head in this direction and this direction. Now if you want to go to particular cylinder, then this arm assembly is moving to and fro direction, and these platters are moving in a rotational direction, this one. Now the hard disk containing many platters, and the range of size varies from 0.85 inch to 14 inch. Commonly it is 3.5 to 2.5 or 1.8. Now the capacity of hard disk range from 30 GB to 3 TB. Now the performance of hard disk depends upon the data transfer rate. Theoretically it is 6 GB per second, but practically it is 1 or 2 GB per second. Now the seek time needs to be considered while designing the hard disk. The seek time varies from 3 milliseconds to 12 milliseconds. If it is less than, say, 3 milliseconds, then the transfer rate is very high. Now from Wikipedia I have taken this data. If the spindle rotation per minute, say, are 4200, then average latency time is 7. If you observe, the RPM if it is very high, then the average latency time goes down. So it is directly proportionate to the RPM, the latency time. Now this is the first commercial hard disk drive that is developed in 1956 and developed for IBM Remdex system. It is only 5 MB size. Now you can observe the size of this hard disk. It consists 50 by 24 inch platters. There are 50 platters and size is 24 inch. The accession time is less than 1 second. Nowadays we have very small hard disk but having the very high capacity. Now the most important topic or most important point from this unit is disk scheduling algorithm. We know the operating system is responsible for using all sorts of hardware and softwares very effectively. Now if you consider this for disk drive, it means that having a fast access time and disk bandwidth. Now the aim of this scheduling algorithm is to minimize the seek time, and the seek time is directly proportional to the seek distance. There are many sources for disk input output request. The first one is operating system itself, second is system processes, third is user processes. Now the IO request includes input, output mode, disk address, memory address and number of sectors to transfer. Operating system maintains queues of request per disk or device. If there are multiple requests for the disk data transfer, then it maintains the queue of those requests. Now optimization algorithm works only when there is a queue exists. If there is a request and that request gets satisfied on that time only, then there is no question of having the queue and there is no question of having the optimization algorithm. Now there are different types of scheduling algorithms. The first one is first come first serve, then second is shortest seek time first, third is scan, fourth is syscan, syslook. Now in this lecture we are going to discuss this FCFS and SSTF algorithms. Now note that each drive controller having small buffers and can manage a queue of IO requests. And this analysis is true for one or more platters in the hard disk. Scheduling algorithm with request queue 98, 83, 37, 122, 14, 124, 65 and 67. Different number of sectors 0 to 199. Initially the head point, read head pointing at the 53 pointer. Now this is the FCFS scheduling algorithm and the queue is given over here. Head starts at 53. Now if you consider the first come first serve, it indicates, the name itself indicates that it satisfies the request services as the request comes into the system. Initially 98 arrives into the system, then 98 is satisfied. So head starts from 53 and it goes to 98. So 98th sender is search and the service is satisfied over here. Then from 98 it goes to 183. So you can observe here it goes to 183 directly because 183 is the second service request. Then from 183 it goes to 37. Okay, now it goes to 37 if you observe here. Now after 37th cylinder is searched, then from 37 it goes to 122nd, this one. Now next request is 14. So from 122nd it goes to 14. Now from 14 it goes to 124. Now from 14 it goes to 124. Then from 124 it goes to 65. You can observe here it is 124 and this one is 122. It goes to 65, this one. Then from 65 it goes to 67. It goes to, see here, 67. Now this is very simple to implement and if you want to calculate the total head movement, we have to calculate the each head movement during the axis of all the cylinders. Now if we start with 53 here, it goes initially to 98. So 98 minus 53, how many head movements are there? 45. Next, from 98 it goes to 183. See here, 98 to 183. So 183 minus 98, it is 85. Then it goes from 183 to this one, that is 37. So 183 minus 37, it is 146. Likewise, if you compute the total number of cylinder movement or head movement to the cylinders, then it comes out to be 640. Now let us compare this FCFS with the SSTF, that is shortest seek time first algorithm. Now the name itself indicates that the SSTF provides the services to the request with the minimum seek time from the current head position. Whatever the current head position is given, it tries to see what is the shortest seek time cylinder or shortest seek time required to reach to that cylinder. Now this is very much similar to the HGF scheduling algorithm in the process management. What is the drawback of this algorithm is there may be a starvation. Starvation may be there in this case. At the end of this, I will talk about this starvation and this drawback. Now let us see what is SSTF. Now first service is 98 cylinder. Now head starts with 53. Now if you observe, if he starts with 53 here, then from 53, instead of providing the data and instead of transferring the data from the 98th cylinder, it goes to the shortest cylinder from this 53, and among this all request, see here, there is a nearest cylinder from 53 is the 65. So it provides service to this 65th cylinder. Then from 65, the nearest cylinder is 67. Now from this 65, it provides the data transfer from the 67 cylinder. See here, this is 67 and this is 65. Now what is the nearest cylinder from this 67 out of all these cylinders, given cylinders? It is 37. So it goes to 37 cylinder. Now from 37 cylinder, what is the nearest cylinder, or which cylinder is nearer to 37 so that it will take the shortest time to transfer the data, that is 14. So 14 is accessed. Now from 14, search for the nearest cylinder out of the remaining cylinders. Remaining cylinders are 98, 183, 122 and 124. Now you can observe here, this from this 14th cylinder, the shortest cylinder is, or the nearest cylinder is 98 amongst the remaining cylinders. Now from this 98, it goes to 122. 98 is services provided. Now the one, it goes to here 124. See here, it is 124. Then from 124, it goes to 180. See here, is 183. Now 124 is accessed, 183 is accessed. So data from all the cylinders is transferred. Now if you compute the total head movement for the given problem, we can observe here only the 236 cylinder head movement is required. Now as compared to the earlier case, it is cylinders total head movement, and in this case it is 236 cylinders only. Now as compared to this first come first serve, this SSTF is very effective and requires less amount of time to provide services to all the sectors, or it takes less amount of time to transfer data from these cylinders to the machine. Getting? Now let us discuss about the disadvantage of this algorithm. Now if you see the 98 request is the first request. Now if you observe, this 98th request is access after service provided to 65, 67, 37, 14, and if you observe this 65 here, it arrives in, if you observe the order of this arrival of the request, it arrives last but 1 year, but the service it get at the very first. And second, if you observe 67, it is the last request come into the system, but this 67 here get the chance before this 98, then 122, 124 and 83. If you observe, 83 arrives at the second time, means the next request into the queue, but the data from this 183rd cylinder get access at the last. So this 183 cylinder has to wait till the end of the queue to get the access. Now this is a starvation. This cylinder goes into the starvation, or the process which depends upon the data which is located at the 183 cylinder may goes under the starvation. So this is the drawback of this SSTF. Thank you very much. This is the end of this SSTF, FCFS, and the basics of this scheduling algorithm. So I request you to subscribe this channel and share this video with your friends so that they can understand these algorithms very easy. Let me tell you one more thing. If you see the syllabus of GATE, or if you observe the questions in the GATE examination, where the numerical examples are asked on disk scheduling algorithms, specifically from SSTF. Thank you very much. In the next video, I will be talking on the remaining scheduling algorithms. So these are the remaining algorithms we will be talking about: scan, cscan and cloop. Thank you very much.